Hi, everybody. My name is Brianna. I'm Enjin's VP of Communications, and I'd like to welcome you all to our Efinity Crowdloan event. We wanted to take some time to just kind of chat with you, our community, welcome some different members of our team and our ecosystem on to talk about what we're trying to do with Efinity, how we're progressing with the crowdloan, and how you can help us secure a slot for a Polkadot parachain for NFTs in the future. So I'd like to start off by introducing our co-founder and CTO, Witek Radomski, who can tell you a little bit about Enjin and just kind of our history in the NFT space. Because if you're not familiar with Enjin, what we are doing is kind of uncharted territory with Efinity, but we are not new to NFTs. We've been around for quite a while. So Witek, I'll let you kick it off.
Hey everybody, thank you for coming. This is so exciting. We're right in the midst of the crowdloan. Basically, this is crazy. So I just want to say, thank you. Anyways, we pioneered NFTs in 2017. We called them custom coins when we were basically trying to create a platform for game developers to use their game items inside games and let people access these game items on the blockchain. This was a really new concept back in the time. Like, there were only ERC20 tokens. Ethereum was really new back then, and we wanted to provide users a new tool for gaming, and we thought of this potential of a multiverse and a metaverse back then. So I'm the original author of ERC 1155. We worked on this with the Enjin team. It is an advanced NFT standard. We created this because there was nothing available at the time to create game items on the blockchain. And what it lets you do is create non-fungible tokens, fungible tokens like gold or gems or things like that, and also lets you do these kind of classes of NFTs. So if you're a game developer or any kind of person doing anything in the NFT space, you probably want to make a collection of things, right? You don't want to make a one-off Mona Lisa. I mean, there's some NFTs like that, but a lot of the time you want 10 of them or 100 of them, especially with games. So the ERC 1155 standard lets you do that. It also lets you batch transfer hundreds of NFTs at a time. We had lots of interesting innovations, localization and advanced smart contract features. So that was now been adopted by a large portion of the Ethereum community. Every marketplace basically supports ERC 1155, so it's been a great success. Now we are working on the next stage of what we've been doing here for the last 4 years at Enjin. Efinity is a parachain on Polkadot. What is Polkadot? Polkadot is it's basically the internet of blockchains. It's created by the co-founder of Ethereum, Gavin Wood. And the vision is that there will be an internet of these parachains, that these are custom blockchains that are customized for a particular use case. So we saw a huge problem in the game development space where game developers are afraid to use blockchain because there's so many barriers. People don't want to have to get a wallet, figure out how that wallet works. They don't want to they don't have to go on an exchange and purchase some ether just to be able to play a game. So when you're thinking about real mainstream games, the Fortnites of the world and the Destiny and Call of Duty and all those kind of heavy multiplayer game experiences, you want to be able to install the game, jump into the game, and basically be in that universe. You don't want to have to mess with wallets and private keys and all this kind of stuff. So Efinity is going to let us do that. I'll go into some of the features of Efinity now. So one of these issues that people have is needing to pay transaction fees. When you use Ethereum, sometimes the transaction fee could be $10, $20, sometimes a few $100s. When you are playing a video game, you don't want to be, wondering whether you want to pay for every single transaction in the game. So we're developing this concept called fuel tanks on Efinity, which lets the game developer actually subsidize transaction costs for their users. And these transaction costs are going to be orders of magnitude lower than Ethereum. So even if they're a fraction of a penny, they're still going to be subsidized by the game developer, so they can bring their users in. The people can play the game without having any crypto at all. And when they're using that game's items, those transaction fees will be covered. Discrete accounts is another solution to a problem. When you, let's say, install a mobile game on your phone, you want to play the game. You don't want to install a wallet. So discrete accounts is your virtual cloud wallet on the Efinity blockchain. You'll basically be able to receive assets into that discrete account, and then you can reassign that account to anybody. So the game developer can start off by being the owner of the account. Then each user can claim that account for themselves and have full ownership. This is also kind of cool that you can even have guilds owning a single account. So you can have many people controlling that one account and owning all those assets. So it's a powerful concept, and it's going to be available with Efinity.
And I think those two features really speak to the usability that we're trying to build with Efinity. And maybe, Caleb, that's a good opportunity for you to jump in and just kind of talking about the why of Efinity. Like, why are these features important? Why are we building them? Kind of what's our vision for Efinity before Witek talks a bit more about the features.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. So yeah, usability is of prime importance. And this kind of rewinding, this goes all the way back to the entirety of the ecosystem that we're building at Enjin. This is applicable to our wallet. And we've talked about this before, that we're dropping a new wallet. We have a marketplace coming out here shortly with NFT.io. So with every product that we've deployed internally, usability is of paramount importance to us. So fast forward to Efinity. Witek and I have actually been having quite a few conversations lately about what is Efinity exactly, and where is the metaverse going, and what is this thing that's forming. And right now we're seeing kind of the slice of the metaverse taking shape within different games and organizations. And it looks something like, Roblox is trying to build their place, and Minecraft is building their place, and Epic is working on a version of it, and now Facebook with Meta, the whole brand shift and really pressing into the metaverse. And it's exciting. Where Efinity comes along and why it's so critically important is we believe, and we've believed from the beginning of building this crystallized concrete infrastructure, right? That's underneath everything, this highway that's connecting these cities, because the next version of what we're going to see is the connective tissue between all of these marketplaces and cities that are popping up everywhere, which makes Efinity truly exciting. So that's why we're doing what we're doing. We're connecting everything. We're building the infrastructure. Really, the dream is coming to be reality at this point. So anyway, Witek, I'll turn it back over to you, but that's a little bit about where we're going. And this goes way beyond just games at this point.
Totally. Yeah, the interoperability is huge. We want people to have this persistent digital identity. And I think Efinity is going to connect various parachains and blockchains together. And eventually you're going to be able to bring your tokens into Efinity, move them out onto other blockchains. We'll probably eventually see blockchains building their own bridges directly into Efinity. Some of the other players, the new blockchains that come around, will want to tie into this whole metaverse. So I'll go into another feature that we've developed here, and it's called crafting. So a lot of the time, it's often happened in games, but also in any kind of other use cases in outside of gaming as well. You want to be able to combine tokens and have something else come out. So for example, you can have, like on the picture here, you could have a block of metal, a gem, log of wood, and then you convert that into a sword. So the way that we're doing this is this sort of framework for off-chain messages essentially the person who has the power to do something, let's say they have the power to mint the sword, they can create this message that says, if you have a piece of metal, if you have a gem, if you have some wood, you can now use my permissions to mint the sword. So they'll be able to sign that. They'll be able to pass it around to people outside of the blockchain, and that will not cost anything. It'll be completely free. Now people can take that recipe and they can use it to craft that sword. Another cool thing about this is that they can cancel that before it's even been committed to chain. So if they realize, I didn't want people to craft that sword, or if they want a time limit on when you can craft that item, they can actually basically nullify that on chain. So even if you distributed that recipe to 1 million people, you can stop that from happening. So it's a really powerful system. It's really usable and applicable for so many cases and games.
Yeah, I know that quite a few of our partners are really excited about this feature, and not just games. It's, we have influencers who are looking to use this, enterprise clients. So I think that's really exciting. And one of the other things that I think is really exciting as part of Efinity is that it is an open ecosystem that's going to be governed by the community. So can you talk a little bit about kind of governance and how that will play into the future of Efinity and development?
Yeah, so the EFI token is going to be used for governance. So it's literally going to be controlled by the community. Once we roll out Efinity, we upgrade the chain with the governance palette. You will be able to you'll be able to propose governance proposals. Let's say the community thinks that the marketplace fee is too low or too high, they can change that. If the community wants a new feature, a new extension added to Efinity, they can add that in by voting. So they can put that proposal up. Everyone in the whole ecosystem will see that proposal on their wallet. They'll be able to review it, see what it means, and then they can vote with their EFI. And there's going to be a whole process that happens to do this. Governance will also control the community treasury. So there's going to be, quite a substantial treasury that the community can vote to support various projects, and it'll be fully controlled by the Efinity community. So it's our step towards making Efinity fully open, decentralized, and the path is going to be a fully community-owned chain. So we're going to be developing it, and the community will be making the decisions and approving the proposals, and eventually it'll be fully open source, where the entire Polkadot community can be pushing updates to the chain.
So something on that, we have a really exciting announcement related to the Polkadot community and feedback. Witek has just published kind of the first iteration of the Paratoken Standard that we've been working on. We're going to be posting more information about this shortly after this presentation, but Witek, tell us more about it. This is really exciting for not only us, but the entire Polkadot Kusama ecosystem.
Yeah, literally 2 minutes before the crowdcast started, I knew we had to push it out. We've been talking about it for a while, so I hit the commit and pull request button, and it got deployed out on GitHub, on Parity's GitHub. So the Paratoken Standard is our attempt at making the ultimate interoperable token standard. This means it lets you make IDs for tokens that can be minted on any chain simultaneously. It doesn't matter. You don't have to synchronize Ethereum. You don't have to synchronize with any other chain. You can have all the chains in the world minting tokens at the same time. You can have any parachain minting tokens. They will not conflict with each other. They'll have their own unique IDs. You'll be able to know where each token came from, whether it came from Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Efinity itself, other parachains. So it's going to be really exciting. There's the Paratoken Standard actually supports a lot of cool features. So it's kind of it's a next evolution of the ERC 1155 standard. It lets you do massive batch transactions, not just a couple hundred tokens. Now you can do millions of tokens in a batch transfer. You can do ranges of tokens, and you can mint tens of millions of tokens in a block. So this is really meant for the mainstream game developer, the mainstream enterprise, or anyone really who wants to make tokens. So we have this extension, this feature called extensions. People can build their own, super powered, upgrades to the token standard and deploy them out on their own chains. We're excited to see what extensions will be built. But basically, right now, it's in its first form. The token standard is going to be looked over by the entire community. We're going to spend some time. We're going to showcase it to all the parachains out there, get their feedback, and I'm sure there's going to be some refinements that happen along the way. We put forward 4 initial extensions. So these these batch and chunk extensions that let you make millions of tokens. Then we have an enumerable extension that lets you figure out who owns what tokens. It's kind of technical, but it's very useful. And there's a few more extensions there that are going to be coming. So there's going to be a lot of updates made over the coming weeks.
That's really exciting. I think what's even more exciting is that it is so collaborative. It is going to be getting feedback from the other parachains. It's truly the open, decentralized ecosystem that Polkadot is so passionate about. And one of the main reasons why, we've chosen them to build Efinity. So really, really exciting. Everybody can follow us on, Twitter and our social media channels, and we'll post more about it shortly, or you can visit the link that's in the slide. Well, thank you, Witek. I want to kind of move on to talk about the ecosystem. So we have a lot of exciting things that we're building, a lot of exciting partners and projects that are building on Efinity or will be in the future and have already built with Enjin. So I want to turn it over to Caleb Applegate, our COO, and then Renee, our head of partnerships, to talk more about what we're doing, who we're working with, and just kind of talk about the exciting things in the ecosystem.
Yeah, thanks, Brianna. Well, this aspect of our company we're incredibly excited about. This is a long time coming, and we've been building the infrastructure for the ecosystem for a long time. So yeah, part of, I think, the big announcement recently was that we formed $100 million USD fund to support this growing ecosystem, which is incredibly exciting. But along with that, I want to say, it's not just about deploying capital, it's also attracting the right kinds of projects. We want bold, really pioneering, metaverse-focused companies, games, decentralized apps. We're really excited about elevated projects, working with our tools. And I want to take a minute and just give props to Renee, who's come alongside the ecosystem infrastructure and has really done a tremendous job this year. It hasn't been, I think, publicly noticed at all, but Renee's really the secret sauce, if you will, behind the growing ecosystem adopters that we have to date. So Renee, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Caleb, and hi, everyone. Pleasure to be here, and pleasure to meet the wide Enjin community. Yeah, we've been doing some amazing things behind the scenes, growing our ecosystem, because as Witek elegantly kind of overviewed our tech stack and what we've been building from the infrastructure side. The other side of the coin is equally or even more important, actually building the ecosystem of users that use the products, that use our end-to-end ecosystem and really build their own amazing stories and kind of build out their own unique NFT vision. And that's really the core of what we've been trying to do. The core of what we're doing really at Enjin is allowing anyone to jump in, build out their NFT vision using our end-to-end product stack, which is robust, allows many different features and really just grow it through that.
Yeah, thanks, Renee. So can you maybe talk about, we can talk about the adopters and so many of the games and apps, and I know you're going to dive into some of those projects, but can you also talk about some of the partners we're working with? I know we have some strategic partnerships in the gaming space, kind of funding aspects. I think there's a lot of exciting things happening that maybe not everyone knows about. So maybe you can talk about Enjin Starter and some of the other partners we're working with.
Some of which we can't announce yet. But they're big. They're very, very big. Renee, I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So right now we're close to 100 official adopters building with our tech stack, and they range from indie to small to medium to AA adopters and companies. But what's really exciting that we're getting a lot of interest lately as the NFT blockchain hype has been developing from AAA company studios and bigger enterprise clients who are really dipping their toes into the whole blockchain decentralized digital asset ownership. And they really like they're testing out their ecosystem. They're really liking what they're seeing. How easy we made to really just communicate with blockchains and have this complete product stack that they can utilize and leverage. And what's most exciting about Efinity per se, specifically with Efinity, and why they're all really committed to Efinity, and can't wait to start building on top of it, is the seamless user onboarding we really enabled through fuel tanks and discrete accounts. Because getting for these larger studios, getting the really massive user base into crypto is really the hard part, and is something that hasn't been solved till now. And we really mitigated the need to learn what is a blockchain, what is a cryptocurrency wallet, how are private keys, how does all of that work. The end user doesn't want to deal with that, and that's what we've done. And so yeah, we're super excited about the future ahead, and super excited to share that news when we can.
Yeah, I think it's a bit cryptic, but we do have some really, really exciting kind of partnerships and adopters in the works. And one of the adopters who was kind of long-time member of the ecosystem and one of our former team members is Simon Curtinegoro. He is the CEO of My Metaverse and our former VP of Developer Success. I'd really love to have Simon kind of come on and talk about what he's doing at My Metaverse, the 4 projects that he's building, and what Efinity means for them. So Simon, tell me more. I know you're super excited about Efinity, but tell the community why.
Hey guys, nice to see everyone here. Thanks for coming out. You might know that I've been an Enjin Fan Voice since 2017 or something like that. So there's very few people in the world more dedicated to Enjin than me, because they deliver. It takes time. It takes time to make the right products and the best products, but they always turn out the best, and they always turn out perfect. So the only reason that I ever dreamed of leaving Enjin was because I wanted to be an adopter too, because the tech stack is great. The things that you can do with it are amazing. And here we are. So I'll show you kind of what we're building here. So if you can see my screen, My Metaverse is essentially aimed to be the Steam of metaverses and NFT experiences. So you could consider it like a metaverse explorer, a game library, or an app store for NFTs specifically. And really, to do this, we needed to create our own kind of tech stack that builds on top of Enjin's experience. So these game libraries, it's really about providing a great user experience where people can go and they can find games that they love. And that's really what we want. We want people to be able to go to mymetaverse.io, click on this play button here, and then see a whole bunch of games here, many, many more than this. Now, to get this started, we had to really understand what game developers go through, what they need, how we can provide as much value to them as possible. So we started by creating our own games. As you may have heard, we have My Meta Minecraft, which is, the first and, in my opinion, the best NFT Minecraft experience in the world. And we're also building My Meta GTA and also My Meta MMO, which is going to be, it's just turning out amazing. It's definitely turning into our Magnus opus. It's going to have incredible play to earn mechanics. And since we're not building within Minecraft's platform or GTA's platform, we're not constrained by their terms and conditions, and we can really build a true play to earn experience that we think can scale out and really help people change their lives, to be honest with you. So the idea is that people will be able to come to this page, click on the game, find out a bit more, and then go from there. The linking experience to the Enjin wallet all happens here in the blockchain wallet section. And then all of these items here are on the blockchain. These are on JumpNet, and soon they'll be on Efinity. And then from there, they proliferate into our actual games. So if we have a look at Minecraft here, you can see that I can type wallet, or or we can go to the actual menu, which I've cleared out. So I'll show you the hard way. You type /wallet, and then these are NFTs. You just click them, and then they appear. So I've summoned a weapon, I've summoned a companion, and I've summoned a mount. So here you go. You can see that I'm on a mount. I have the golden sword, the classic Enjin Craft OG NFT, which was minted back in 2018, way before the hype. And there is my NFT companion as well. So as you can see, all of this was only possible because of Enjin's tech stack. There's no way I could have done this on my own. And the tech stack is just getting better and better. And with Efinity, it's going to take a whole nother level. Now, for me, what Efinity means, it means the best NFT blockchain that will possibly ever exist. And let me tell you why I believe that. So if you have a look at gas fees as one example, basically every single blockchain will, if it was built to serve the whole world, then no one blockchain would be able to function without incredible gas fees. However, Efinity is already able to mint millions of NFTs per second. When you compare that to Ethereum's like 70 transactions per second, and batch transactions do reduce that, allow you to make that a little bit more efficient, but not really that much. On top of that, all of the features that that Witek and the team have envisioned are just like straight up visionary. They allow us to build on-chain gamified experiences that people can literally just, like, developers like us can just plug into and let them run. Like, we don't have to worry about building, databases and all of these kind of centralized layers of mechanics to do it. But the most exciting thing for me about Efinity is the governance system, to be honest with you. And that's why I think it's going to basically remain, if everything goes perfectly, which is an if, but I definitely trust the team. If everything goes perfectly, I think it will remain as the best NFT blockchain in the world, because when things need to be upgraded, you put it to a vote, the community decides, and then you do it, and then it's done. Say, for example, we want to have a say in what happens on Bitcoin or Ethereum right now. What do we have to do? We have to set up a whole mining. Like, I don't even know how to do it, to be honest with you. And I'm sure like 534 of the 535 people in this chat room like have no idea how to do that. And any good democracy needs like as much participation as possible. And from what I know about Enjin, now they can correct me if I'm wrong, from what I know about them is that they're great with user experience. So when we want to participate in the governance process, then we'll just be opening up the Enjin wallet and pressing a button to vote. Like, it's going to be as simple as that. Everyone can be a part, not only of holding the EFI token, but they're actually going to be able to help chart the path of the metaverse. And that, to me, is the key to making the best metaverse possible. I mean, if you look at Ready Player One, the whole story arc, all of the problems were caused by centralization. That's impossible with Efinity. And that's why I'm here. And that's why I'm going to be here forever. So, yeah, I'll pass it back to you guys. Thanks for the time.
I have to jump in quick. real quick. Simon, dude, I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
I love it. And like what you just described, and that passion is why we're doing what we're doing. Like, if I could like encapsulate that right there, dude, thank you so much for your contributions and all that you're doing. So epic, and we're so proud.
Thank you for making it possible.
Man. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Simon. Like, you're our biggest hype person. I love it. And we really appreciate everything you're doing. If anyone's interested, Simon wrote a blog post kind of about what he's been talking about the open governance and like kind of the open metaverse that we're going to build on Efinity. And so I'm going to just drop it in the chat here. Cool. Well, awesome. Thank you so much, Simon. I am going to now turn it over to Jeremy. Jeremy Ray is our content strategist. He's been putting out some rockstar content videos and blog posts if you've seen them recently. And he's going to talk a bit about the crowd loan itself. As you might be aware, we are hosting a crowd loan. Basically, we need your support to help bring NFTs to Polkadot. Everything we're talking about right now, it wouldn't be possible without our community support. So Jeremy's going to tell you a bit more about like how you can get involved if this resonates with you, if you are excited about what we're doing. So I'll pass it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. If you can see my video here, I'm just going to play a video. It's good to meet you all. My name is Jeremy. I've been writing about Enjin since, I guess, 2018. All the way back then, I sort of picked Enjin as one of the projects in the space that had the right ideas and could see into the crystal ball, into the future, and see what gaming needed ahead of time. And I think that's very much the case with Efinity now as well. I know some of the features have already been mentioned, but it's not just about quick transfers with low fees. It's about being carbon neutral. It's about being able to swap NFTs across blockchains and across all the parachains. I know the features like fuel tanks and discrete accounts were already mentioned, but for me, that's huge because that reduces the biggest barriers to gaming and NFT gaming that I currently see in the space. You know, being hit with a wallet connector right when you load up a website, or even when you're just trying to find out about a game, and needing to buy cryptocurrency, it just gets rid of that. Things like liquidity and staking and terms that non-crypto natives wouldn't understand. All of that stuff is just kind of done automatically for you. So across the board, you kind of just don't even need to know about crypto. You don't even need to know that there's a blockchain underneath it. You can kind of just jump into the game, and that's great because as game developers, we don't need another barrier to entry, right? It's hard enough to get gamers playing your game. So that plus all the other stuff like supporting developers with the $100 million fund to support Enjin adopters, all of that, it points to, there's a lot of different companies moving into, the quote unquote metaverse. A lot of them have different definitions for metaverse, but this is very much a vote for what kind of metaverse you want to exist. And it's going to be a community governed metaverse. It's going to be one that again can look into the crystal ball, can see the future of gaming and what we need. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the process of how you can support that, and also we'll get into the rewards and stuff as well. But I recorded a video where I sort of went through all the different methods that you can use Polkadot to support Efinity in the crowd loan process. And so basically, if you don't know, I saw a couple of people in the chat asking what the crowd loan process is. If you don't know, people can contribute their DOT as sort of like a vote for which project you want to become a parachain. These parachains will be connected on the Polkadot ecosystem to the 99 other parachains. For us, we're going for a slot of 2 years. So that means Efinity will be a parachain for at least 2 years. And this will lock up your DOT. So if you do contribute DOT, it will lock it up for roughly 96 weeks. And then you'll be rewarded in the form of EFI. So what you're seeing right now is our Crowdloan page. It's got a whole bunch of information about the different methods, how you can contribute, the rewards and stuff like that. So we do have a fixed pool of 10% of the total EFI supply, which is 200 million EFI tokens. And that is going to be rewarded to all of the DOT that is contributed. So if there's 5 million DOT contributed, it's going to be spread among that. If there's 6 million DOT contributed, it's going to be spread among that. There's also some degen NFTs that you just saw there. Those are going to be rewarded. The top 250 contributors are going to get degen NFTs, and 250 random contributors are also going to get degen NFTs. And what you just saw there is all the different exchanges that you can contribute DOT on. So we're going to be going through all those. So we've got 6 exchanges to get through, and then we'll talk about some other methods as well. This is what the Binance screen looks like. If you load up, you'll see the URLs at the bottom of your screen there as well. So if you do head to Binance, you'll see this chart with all the different parachain projects there. You'll see Efinity, and you can just bring up the window and decide how much DOT you want to contribute. It'll give you 4 different tick boxes to make sure you're super duper 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 sure that you want to lock up your DOT for about 96 weeks. And then the process is pretty much that easy. This is what the Huobi screen looks like. On Huobi, they've made it so that you can contribute through the website or the app. So the screen kind of looks the same on both of those. Largely, the exchanges have similar processes, and these are kind of the easiest ways to do this. This is what the mobile app looks like with Huobi. So in comparison to the other methods, if you just kind of want to do it the easy way and not worry too much about it, this would be kind of the recommended way. OKX again looks very similar. You just find Efinity on the chart here. After you go to the URL, click on vote on the right. It'll give you a warning talking about locking up your DOT. Decide how much you want to contribute, and click on vote, and then boom, that's it. You've contributed it. This one is the KuCoin one. It's a little bit different. You just need to make sure that your Polkadot is in your Pool X account and not your trading account or your main account. So if you've tried to contribute dots, it'll also ask you for your 6-digit PIN. If you try to contribute your DOT and it's not letting you, or it says you have no DOT to contribute, that's probably why. It just needs to be swapped over into your Pool X account. The gate screen looks a little bit different to the other ones. You can see Efinity's towards the top here, but they've got this sort of grid layout. But then after you click through to there, it's a similar screen. Decide how much DOT that you want to contribute, and then you can just click on subscribe there. And most of these exchanges have a button that you can click on to make sure that everything went through okay. Here it's My Holdings. If you click that, you can make sure that it's properly locked up. And Gate will also ask you for your spot trading password. So same password that you use for any spot trades, it'll ask you for as well. Yeah, we also have the ability to use the Polkadot.js extension. Highly recommend going to our Enjin blog. If you go to our Enjin.io and click on blog there, we've got some detailed instructions on how to do this, because you need to add a browser extension. It's either Chrome or Firefox. I'm actually on Brave here, which is Chrome based, so that's fine. And there's a process to go through here where you click the plus sign, and you'll need to set up an official Polkadot account. And the tricky part with this one is you need to make sure that you have at least one DOT in this account at all times. If you don't have at least one DOT, the Polkadot network is not going to recognize the wallet, and that is not good. So if you have 0.9 DOT in that wallet, you no longer have 0.9 DOT. So make sure that you just keep at least one DOT in that wallet at all times. And then this is going to be, you can either vote for Efinity through this page here at the URL that you can see at the bottom there. And this is also the basis of the other methods that are going to be coming up. So when we talk about our Efinity Crowdloan page on our website, on this screen, by the way, just make sure Sign and Submit is active both on the left and the right. The bar on the left, as well as clicking it on the right, needs to be clicked. So once you have that account set up, you can use that on our Efinity Crowdloan page. So you'll see here, I'll click on Contribute, and you'll just connect your wallet. It's the same wallet that we just set up, and decide how much DOT that you want to contribute. It'll ask you to authenticate, and this is just a way to do it through our website. And there are also a couple more methods that can give you, they're offering some slightly different rewards. There's a different reward scheme. And those methods are Parallel and Bifrost. So with Parallel, they are offering some additional rewards, and they actually have a calculator on their website, which will come up here in a second. If you go there, they're offering paratokens. So very similar to what we saw in the exchanges. You'll see this chart with all the parachain projects. Find Efinity down there. To see the screen, just go to that URL that you saw before. All of this info is, by the way, available on our blog and on Twitter. Also on our YouTube channel, you can see this whole video. So once you connect your wallet and authorize it, if you click on the Efinity button here, you'll see it's going to give you a little calculator. And if you type how much DOT you want to contribute, it will say this this is going to give you so many paratokens. And there's a referral code option there. So if you have a friend that referred you to Parallel, you can reward them a little bit. And with Bifrost, the process is very similar to that as well. So say how much DOT you want to contribute. It's going to do a little calculation on how much BNC that you'll be rewarded. And there's the referral address there as well. So you can help out if you have a group of people who are contributing DOT. I know some people are doing that. And there are also a number of wallets that you can contribute with that we just saw on the screen there. Talisman, Fearless, Math Wallet, Nova Wallet. Yeah, so those are, as it stands, all the methods that you can use to contribute Polkadot to the Efinity project and sort of vote for the kind of metaverse that you want, the kind of gaming interoperability project that you want to exist, and on top of everything, be rewarded for it. So I imagine there might be some questions, but yeah, you can, yeah, again, feel free to check out our Twitter, our YouTube, our blog to see all that information again. And yeah, thank you very much. I guess I'll hand it back over to you folks.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jeremy. And yeah, as Jeremy mentioned, we have a video tutorial. We have a bunch of Help Center articles. We have blog content around this. So if you have any questions about how to contribute, you can check out our resources there. But I think we just want to kind of wrap up with saying, like, we really, really appreciate our community, our adopters, everyone in our ecosystem. And, you know, in order to kind of secure this future, we really need everyone's support. Whether you're new and you're excited about the metaverse, or you're kind of an OG and you've been with us since the beginning, we need all of your support. So I wanted to just pass it off to Caleb and Witek for some closing remarks. If you want to learn more, you can go to enj.in/loan.
Yeah. I'll jump in first. This has been an incredibly productive, very fast-paced year. We've been so knee-deep in development, in partnerships, and building our ecosystem. We have tremendous momentum at this point, and all of it culminates with Efinity. I cannot underscore enough how important and how critical this project is. We wouldn't be here without your support. As you all know, we did a really tremendous ICO earlier this year with EFI. We've built a very robust path forward with Efinity in terms of our development roadmap, where we're taking things, the features that Witek has talked about. We've gone all in on this. Our community sale hosted on CoinList was the second largest in history. We sold out in hours. The momentum has been nuts. So it's all pushing towards this moment. Yes, we have a very clear strategy, but we need your support. So all things considered, like, please spread the word, please help us, please rally the community. Now is that time. Witek, I'll hand it to you.
Hey, thanks, Caleb. Yeah, guys, I mean, this is really the moment that will allow everything we've been working towards for the last 4 years with Enjin and Efinity to come to fruition. If you think about it, it would be pretty damn epic to be the first NFT blockchain on Polkadot. I mean, that is a massive opportunity. So, you know, people are asking about batch 2. You know, if that happens, yes, batch 2, but we are aiming for batch 1. There are so many things lining up. There are so many adopters in line to use Efinity that we are going to go as hard as we can on batch 1. So we need everybody's support. And yeah, well, let's see how it goes. I mean, we fully intend to win batch 1. So thank you guys for all your support, and let's see where this journey takes us.
Well, thank you guys so much for your time. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. We'll share a recording of this afterwards for anyone who wasn't able to join. But again, if you want to learn more about the Crowdloan, you can go to enj.in/loan. You know, view our social media for any updates, and I think it's time to go. Thanks, everybody.